I'm back again. Yesterday, I slept on top of my blankets, which is strange because it was kind of cold. Like, it wasn't just freezing cold, but it was cold enough to get under the covers. But whatever it was, I slept on top of my blankets. We're going to talk about environment and habit. I want to kind of switch it up. I got my notes here. A lot of times I'll read a little, react. I'm going to go ahead and read it all and then react to it piece by piece. So environment and habit. Habit is the force generally known by thinkers, but it's only known for its adverse effects. When you think of habits, what do we kind of inter with bad habits? So I guess I'll read and yeah, I'll break it down. Man is a creature of habit, and habit is a cable. We weave a thread of it each day, and it becomes so strong that we cannot break it. If it is true that habit becomes a tyrant, compelling men to act against their wills, desires, and inclinations, which is true in many cases, then the question arises if this mighty force, habit, can be controlled and can be used to the advantage of men. If it can, habit can be a slave to man and put to work rather than it being a master to men. Just like other forces of nature, the good news is that habit can be mastered, and many men have done so. You look into these famous or miraculous men and women, and you'll almost every time find out that they have a routine, whether it be a routine that they wake up through or their nightly routine, but they definitely have some habits that they decided that they cut out for themselves. A habit is a mental path which our actions have traveled over time. Each passing makes the path a little deeper and a little wider. If you ever had to walk through a field or a forest, and you know how natural it is to choose the clearest path in preference to the less worn path, and greatly in preference to stepping out and making your own path, making a new path. The line of mental action is the same. It is movement along the path of least resistance. Habits are created by repetition and form in accordance to a natural law. Oh, we get up at 5 a.m., baby. Habits are created by repetition and formed in accordance to a natural law observable in all animate objects and in inanimate objects. Well, some would say it. An example of it being visible in inanimate objects is that when you fold a piece of paper a certain way, it will more easily fold along those same lines the next time that you fold it. Clothing or gloves, they form creases according to how the user uses them. Rivers and streams of water, they cut their course through the land, and thereafter they flow on the habit course. The law is in effect everywhere. So I read down most of my notes. Now I kind of want to dig into them. Habits are force generally known to thinkers, but only known for its adverse effect. When we think of habits, we think of twitching, biting our nails, smoking cigarettes, chronic masturbation, being late for work, drinking, just habits, overeating. A lot of us think of those as habits, and something in our brain tries to create a new word when the habits serve us. We call it a routine, or like he's in the groove or something, but that's just a habit too. Like I got a buddy for the past 4 or 5 years, he's been lifting weights 4 or 5 days a week, but barring like when he had surgery on his shoulder. Myself, I walk around my neighborhood, or really more importantly, I make my bed every day, and then I go for 3 laps around my neighborhood, and those become habits, but they're not bad habits. These habits serve us. Now I'm starting a YouTube video every day. More habits. Probably this habit of YouTube came from the habit of me making my bed daily, because walking around The neighborhood came from making the bed daily. And I've just got a lot of habits, a lot of good routines that serve me. So all men are creatures of habit, and habits are a cable that we weave a thread of every day. How many of us, even without creating a routine, we still develop some sort of a routine and habits? Like, I can remember before I created my routine of getting up and raising toast, I was waking up and I would put on like my favorite song of that time. I'd roll around, I'd kind of wash my face and brush my teeth, and that was pretty much the end of that. Oh no, I'd scroll through my feed, Instagram, Snapchat, and then just go ahead and start the day. Maybe get a bite to eat. And it was a daily thing. So if it's true that habit can control men to do things that they truly don't want to do, if you got the habit of overeating but you truly want to be in shape, habit is controlling you to do something you don't want to do. If you have the desire, if you have a desire to do one thing and habit is stopping you from that, then habit is controlling you. But if it's true that habit becomes a tyrant, compelling men to act against their will, desires, and inclinations, then the question arises if this mighty force can be controlled and used to the advantage of men. And the good news is that it can. You can create your own habits through the habit of